be for broadcasting. And here we go, finally live. And this is an interesting map, by the way. Event control can be a staple of Coastal, or really any map to give space to work with. But this map, it takes on even more of an emphasis, especially for the attacking team, because you must cross mid to attack the Cinema bomb site. And that provides for a lot of different set nades and timing disruptions and all kinds of shenanigans at middle and sniper battles.
Yeah, and you're seeing some already, actually. The allies were waiting quite a long time, and Elzo was just shoulder peeking it. So they actually stalled their nades a little bit longer than they ordinarily would, and now they're starting to push through, and there's S. Walker, tosses the nade up and over, lands on 2 players, dead they go. Jack is pushed up on the side, is able to rein in some serious pain with his STG before they can start to push into the site, and it looks like the damage has already been done. Blackmane, the only player left, is able to get 1, but he has multiple angles around him with hungry Axis players waiting, and Ocelots will pounce. Only Etney dies, but it is a pretty comfortable round in the end.
Indeed it is. Like you said, just allied team, Arca 51, being slowed down due to the threat of there being set nades at middle. It allowed Ocelot positions in the site a little bit better. I think they even had 3 players in B just from the get-go. And then S. Walker throws a later set nade, an off-timing nade, one maybe you're not quite expecting because you think all the danger is already long and gone. But he rings it out at the perfect time and winds up getting 2 quick kills. You see Elzoid trying to tee off at the scope, but a good smoke grenade comes out from Article 51 to block his vision, deny him that access. And look at Duffer and Ano. What a move by those guys. You could Ocelots to get aggressive in bottom cinema, but they got absolutely cut off by a nade.
Just love how you saw the ragdoll bodies fly against the wall as well. And there was a 3rd kill in amongst that as well, also by a grenade. So all 3 kills off 3 different players. And, well, in fact, 2 of them may have been off Ono, but either way, it's going to be Jackis, Etney, and S. Walker all wrecked, all dead. Copy and Elzoy may be looking for some exit frags. It's very early doors, so they don't have to worry too much about cards at this point, but maybe just wanting to play safe rather than sorry. That being said, Elzoy's gone down, but so too, Copy will pounce, but Duffer's right back to answer. So it's going to be a pretty comfortable round in the end for the allies. And just going to show as well, look, your nades are pretty decent, but ours aren't too bad either.
Yeah, I can't know what level of mind games happened there because I can't read their minds, but it almost felt like because Article 51 knew they got slow due to the threat of set nades, they probably figured, okay, Ocelots are probably going to use that window to actually push into cinema. Because that's what a lot of teams will do. They'll slow you down at middle, they'll take aggressive positions in cinema and deny you that space. And so Ano was like, all right, I know you're going to do that, so I'm just going to throw a set nade on the front of cinema. So if you run in there, you're dead. And that's basically what happened. So just good reads, basically. That's a good counter set nade, I guess you could say, from Article 51 to get them some early kills. As now they look to attack over towards mid pretty heavily. Duffer leading the charge already in connector.
No, he's very aggressive right off the bat through second mid with his Thompson. Blackmane's also pushed in the meanwhile, over towards the opposite side of the map, just trying to run some interference stuff, and up close with a Thompson is going to lay down Elzo. That's a big scalp to take on top of it, and he could be hungry for more. It's going to be a second frag before he's traded up by Etney. And S. Walker probably having some words with his teammate, because really that should have been a kill before S. Walker was taken down. That would have been a great little turn of events for the Axis. As it stands, it's a 3-on-2. Jack is pushing through the tickets, and he's going to take down 2 kills. The second one onto Sokolon. Very nicely done. And now it's just all down to Ono. What can he realistically hope to achieve? He's about to come head-to-head with Jackis, who's going to pick up yet another one. 2-1 now in favor of Ocelots.
Dude, that was looking so good for Article 51. I don't know what you were through that round, but basically you see Duffer just sneak through middle. It's kind of a fake because you saw Blackmane still putting pressure on Cinema, and that kind of made the illusion that, oh, this could still be a Cinema attack, but really it's just all to let Duffer slip through middle and flank behind. He actually flanks behind B, gets 2 kills, basically securing A for his team, but then they decide to commit back over to B, and Jackus just shuts them down by himself. So, I mean, it's just a crazy individual effort from Jackus to stop around that was definitely going Article 51's way early on. And this one looks to take the same little trend as Ano's set nade, again finding a kill as they attack over towards Cinema.
Nade's doing so much work thus far. It feels like 50% of the kills have been from HEs, but now it's going to be Etney with his MP40, and it's going to be 3 kills going his way. That is disgusting. And he's able to survive, regen, and reload. What a beast. Elzo, in the meanwhile, is going to go in for one of his own SMG frags, leaving Duffer scratching his head. wondering what the hell just happened. And has he just been spotted? I feel like both players have seen each other. And it's going to be a duel to the death, but Duffy will come out ahead and also escapes. Plus, he has the bomb and over 50 seconds to play with. This round may not be over just yet.
He does have a lot of time, and he's in a 1v2, which is manageable. Steps out, copy there with the STG. There to put him down and collect the cards for his troubles. And right now, it's going swimmingly for the Ocelot side. They're currently up 3-1. Despite the early set nade kill from Ano to kind of start opening up the cinema site. I mean, it's just a great individual effort there from Etney with that MP40. I mean, what can you really say? Sometimes it does just come down to, you know, straight up winning duels, and Ocelots were definitely on the receiving end of a good time on that round.
Yeah, that's the second round in a row as well. The round before that was Jackis from Ticket who got 3 kills ultimately. So, sure, it's 3-1 to Ocelot, but on another day, this could easily be 3-1 to Article 51. It's just those 2 heroic plays that separate them. But what will give some confidence across is S-Walker lands a beautiful shot. So hold that thought for a second. He's going to come through with a second one in the form of Jackis. Aerox goes aggressive onto the long side, but won't find anybody. At least he pushes them back. This could afford them a potential bomb plant. And he's going to make sure they don't get sideswiped from the double doors of arches. It seems like the action is about to kick off once again, but it's really down to the allies to start to make some inroads, and they've done just that, down to a 3-on-3.
Yeah, early fights were going Ocelot's way, defending the site, but Aerox is right back open with that frag in the back halls. Stockland still patrolling mid, making sure they're not being flanked. They still can't really plant the spawn, though, because all of Ocelots are here. It's been pretty much telegraphed what the goal is right now for Article 51. So trying to plant means one of your players is out of the fight, and now you're basically playing a 2v3. That's when Ocelots can pounce.
Time's still dwindling. They don't have really any utility to play with either, which is going to be a real issue. But they have forced off Etney. They're still not going for the full plant, though. They're tickling it. They're trying to bait out the defenders into the open to get a pick which they can convert off. And because they've taken so much time, Elzoy now has managed to snake his way round the back. Sure, it's a bomb plant, but if Elzoy can get this first kill, this round could very well go in the favor of the Axis. Ono's down to 12. He has to play possum. He has to play passive until his health regens, which is just starting to do now. If he peeks out again, he should be a dead man. He's still alive, 17 health. Elzoy must be so frustrated, he just wants to press go, and go he shall. Kill goes his way, and there we have it. Ocelots with the retake. It was so incredibly close. Ono survived for way longer than I anticipated, but they're just going to fend off with the defuse to pick up any cards that are laying around. They will get the round all the same, 4-1.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with the tapping of the bomb. You have to draw someone out. You're trying to give yourself an opportunity, because otherwise you're essentially playing landed, and that could really set you up for failure. But because they were delayed for so long, the flank sets in, and I have to give some props to Etney and Copy, who were the guys attacking from doors and back halls, because they were putting so much pressure on the players actually inside the site. It forced Stockland to kind of respect that and focus his attention to help out his teammates, which opens up that flank from Elzoy to be even more impactful, because no one's really keeping their eyes on it anymore, because they're so worried about like kind of the main part of that retake, so to speak. And here in this round, Copy delivering the kill at the set nade. They tried to rush past it at middle, but got caught. Ano responds with one of his own, but they're still playing from behind in this round early on, 3-on-4. Duffer will start taking control of Cinema. Black main here at short. Ano still kind of patrolling middle at this point, so maybe a bit of things settling down for now. Just kind of waiting for the next part of action to strike.
Cheeky peek with the lean is going to get Duffer information, but a bit too much. S-Walker with 2. Make it a 3rd as well. Exquisite shots. It seems like Ocelots are starting to find their stride now, Dust. And we know how good they are when they build up the momentum. We saw them do it in the last Blitzkrieg. They're able to sweep aside any team they played against. And Article 51, who've already conceded 1 map, remember, they come through into this at 1-0 behind. 5-1 behind already on the ally side.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Ocelots are a team that have been playing Call of Duty 2 since like 2007, 2008, and still were actively competing at offline events for Call of Duty 2 even in recent times. They're one of the most practiced teams from Europe in this game. They've been playing together since beta, basically, or even into alpha as a 5. And some of these players are even just like in their young 20s even, some of them. Some obviously a little bit older. So they had a lot of time in this game is the point to make. So they know a lot about these maps.
And you can start to see that the effort, the time, is starting to pay dividends for them. Ocelots going to be a rough encounter, but Aerox is going to come through with his carbine. Looking much better this time around. It's a 3-on-4 in favor of the Allies. But Elzoy, once again, with his sniper rifle, is able to even the odds. He's going to get pinched from the left-hand side if he's not careful. And Ono one-taps him with the carbine. Tasty. Nearly kills himself by cratering, though, so needs to be very careful at that one. But Soklan now comes through with a kill of his own, and Ono finishes off the rest. He had a rough first map on Coastal, but he is currently leading the way for Article 51 with 7 kills.
Yeah, I mean, you have to think that a lot of this game has broken down to the fact that Ocelot's winning the majority of the fights over towards that cinema bomb site. That's really the biggest thing. But that round, Ano hit some 6 shots, particularly that one tap he hit. That's the one good thing about the default class. I mean, obviously, it's a weaker gun, takes more bullets with body shots to kill, but it is a one tap if you can find the head. And that is exactly what Ano did from a very difficult angle, I should say, as well from inside cinema. So really brilliantly done. You see Article 51 shifting focus this round, looking to attack over towards Altman in the A side of the map now. Copy getting aggressive for Ocelots over in that direction. Is taken down, though, by Aerox, and this opens the door to the A-bomb site for Article 51. You do see S. Walker and Etney begin to rotate. So is Jackus, but what can they do?
I was about to say the Jackus is about to bump head-to-head with Ono. It's going to be a 1-for-1 trade, though. That's going to be decent for the Allies. And you can see that Elzoy really is just by himself on Cinema. Etney and S. Walker have already rotated hard towards the church. Now, the issue with this, with so much time left, is they could effectively mind game themselves, and that's why Elzoy is going to start to go aggressive. He feels pressured. He feels they need to get some information for the rest of his team and maybe draw Etney out from mid, from watching middle itself to try and come around the side, but S. Walker's gone down, and now it's pretty much going to be all on Elzoy. He's going to get pushed from 3 separate players. Blackmane's still watching mid just to be safe. He does have the bomb, so it's really important he doesn't die here, actually, from Etney. That could be an issue for him. I say he has the bomb, but actually it's Duffer, so I had a weird bug on my my Spectate client. Or actually, no, he didn't. Now he's got the bomb. What the hell's going on? Do you see a little bomb icon at the bottom right for all the players, like I do?
Yeah, you have to focus on the player bar.
Right.
Every single player on the thing will have a bomb. You can look at their player bar to see who actually has it. But anyway, round does eventually swing over to Article 51. I think that really just boils down to Article 51 getting control of middle and connector. And so from that point, they get a man advantage, and because they're in that spot, if you're Ocelots, you have no idea where they're going. I mean, they control the middle of the map now pretty much exclusively, and they could really go either direction. And so your defense is kind of left scratching their heads, you know, kind of split up, kind of having to make sure all their bases are covered, which means that you're going to be vulnerable because you're kind of spreading yourself thin to keep your eyes everywhere. So definitely just a tough time. But Elzoy, he's found the first kill in this round with the set nade. Nano, he's quickly run through all of that, and he's already attacking through Broken Building into that B bomb. So there's 4 members of Ocelots here.
Yeah, they've already preemptively decided it's going to be a hard cinema push, I should say. And it's going pretty convincingly in favor of the Allies to this point. Jackus misses out on his cart shot. He'll have to be joined by Copy. And he's piecing out of there. He's deciding that he wants to just go all the way around from mid instead. And meanwhile, Blackmane and Socklon have got to try and rummage together a master plan. Nades landing. Blackmane 1 health. Literally a gust of wind we're taking down at this point, but he's still going to tickle out the bomb and make sure there's no cheeky axis behind him. Socklon's not able to go for the plant either. They don't have full control over Broken Wall. They don't have control over Archers either. They finally decide they're going to go for it, but the spam's coming through the box. Socklon down to 50, but will survive. The flank from Jackus, though, still in hot pursuit, but he's going to go down to Socklon. He's a step ahead. His spidey sense was tingling, and he decided to look at the broken house, and now Blackmane spamming across with his carbine. It's going to be helped out by Socklon, and that's a hell of a clutch. Well played, Article 51, 4-5 behind.
Yeah, it played out pretty close up until the end. I think the biggest part of that round is Socklon picking up on Jackus. That was the biggest kill of the round. That's the one that locked it up for Article 51. You know, since our Ocelots had a lot of time, they had a man advantage, they were trying to get another angle of attack. They didn't want to be exclusively attacking from spawn. They wanted Jackus to come from a different angle. Maybe you kind of force the team post-plant to be the stretch thin, but Socklon catches on to Jackus, and that pretty much locks it up. 5 on 4 now. We do see again across to Cinema. Only 2 members here from Ocelots this time, and Ano able to overwhelm. Already into Ticket as well. Could be cutting off people rotating through spawn with this Thompson. Catches Elzoy, tags him up, at least gets the information. He's holding such good real estate in the post plant.
Deciding to go very aggressive now. Ono, he needs to get this kill, and he's going to pick it up. Able to dart back. Is he going to be able to survive? Yes, he is. Back to Ticket he will go. He is doing so much work. He's keeping the Axis on the heels of their feet. They cannot push in just yet, and Ono comes back with 2 more. S-Walker and Copy both down. And I'm not sure, but I think Copy may have been lining up some kind of a nade. Caught in the corner with his pants down. Either way, Jackus is able to get 1. His position now compromised, as is his life. Article 51, I think it was 5-1 at one point. They've well and truly brought this back.
They really have. A lot of credit goes to Ano there. It's one a bit lighter on their initial Cinema defense. Only had 2 players there to start with, and Ano was able just to kind of push into Ticket, so you're taking space that normally Ocelots would occupy pretty comfortably to set up for a retake. You're in their face already. You're cutting off the rotates through their spawn from the A side of the map. So it's just Ano being able to control a really important area of the map that Ocelots really needed to have to be able to stage any type of comeback in that round. And that does tie up the game 5-all. Just 2 rounds left to play in this half.
That's
a split up team here from D1. Blackman's actually pushing out Church with Socklin, but Ano and Duffer are still putting that pressure on Cinema, keeping everyone from Ocelots over there, making them respect the fact it could be a Cinema hit.
Still have nades, though, to the Axis. Jackus on the site. Smoke plumed up. Can't really see anything. Not sure what's coming up against them. And with Ono picking up that kill onto Jackus, it will keep the Axis interested over on this side. He's going to keep Etney and S-Walker over here. Duffer in the meanwhile, as ever, lurking, trying to push round the side of the map, flanking round the back of Axis. And if the timing works in his favor, he could get round the back of Elzoy. Meanwhile, Ono goes down. Etney shows his hand at the bottom of Cinema. 3 on 2, favoring the Axis, and with time starting to dwindle, it's all on Socklin. Duffer's gone down. His flank is not going to be successful this time around. Socklin does have control of the bomb, but time is against him. 3 players eager to take the kill, and it's going to be Etney that puts the final bullet in. So they've stopped that 5-round streak.
Yeah, it's kind of a story of 2 players that round for Ocelots. One, Etney being so patient in Cinema. He was holding ground there. Waits for the perfect opportunity to strike and comes up with 2 really impact frags in the late round. Also, this time, they caught the aggression. Similarly to last round, when Ana was, pushing into territory Ocelots would normally preoccupy, you saw Duffer trying to do the same thing through middle, but he got caught. He got picked apart, and that is really the key kills that let Ocelots win that round. So now they're up 6-5. Again, we're seeing Ano trying to quickly move over towards Cinema. He's already inside the site. What can he do here? There's 4 Ocelots in the area, but Ano tees off 2.
That's disgusting. That's absolutely disgusting. And with him getting those 2 kills and Duffer flanking through mid once again, that round is pretty much done. This round is over. Considering that Etney and S-Walker have their backs against the wall and Duffer is just going in for the jugular, the important part is that the rest of Article 51 are already on the church and they're looking to get that bomb planted. That was phenomenal play by Ono. I mean, as soon as Ono gets the kills, they're forced into basically tunnel visioning onto the Cinema side, and that's where Duffer is allowed to get around the back of them through mid.
Yeah, I really had nothing to add to that. I mean, that really is example of timing and impact frags. If Ano dies there, then, Duffer's probably not able to push up mid because Ocelots will still have the luxury of being able to keep a member in spawn to kind of pick up on that. I mean, don't get me wrong. They know Duffer does that. Duffer's pushed mid several times. They're aware of that, but you can't really use that information when you're getting crushed at B by 1 player who's forcing you to rotate and add reinforcements to that side of the map. So it does really just come all the way down to that into the last round, and it will be 6-6. So again, we have a tie game going into the second half of the maps we've seen today.
Yeah, because the other point to put onto that as well is S-Walker is going to stay alive and take down the 2 players. Doesn't really matter in terms of cards because, well, the half is over. But because Ono goes in and gets those 2 kills, in Ocelot's mind, they don't even know if it's just him or if there's another 2 or 3 players behind him looking to get that plant down instantly. That's why they can't afford to put someone mid. They have to just bite fully on that bait. They have to roll the dice and see if they can maybe take the bomb while it's getting planted and get a lucky spray of their own. So, again, it's just exquisite play. 6-6, though, all even once again. Similar to how Coastal started, this game is pretty much on a razor's edge.
It really is. As again, we are seeing Ocelots looking to cross Cinema. They'd have to wait for those set nades. They actually push up onto tank with several players, so they could still attack into. Oh, Socklin! The perfect set nade of set nades. He even waited, and he lines it up perfectly. Holy cow!
Yeah, he waited. He didn't toss his nade in straight away. Just waited there. By this time, I think that nade was towards the broken house.
Tank.
Oh, the tank. Really? Wow.
Mid tank. Yeah. As Ocelot's delayed, thinking it's gonna be set nades top middle early, which is definitely a a viable threat you have to be concerned with. And then he just throws the delayed nade on tank and just absolutely ruins everything for Ocelots.
Jackis to the heap of dead Ocelots. Now all down to just S Walker, who does typically play top cinema. I mean, even remember saying this yesterday. I almost want to call this position after him because he is so prolific up here. But in a 1-on-5, he's really just not going to have the ability to do much from it. As good as he is, 25 seconds as well. Probably some kills to be had at the very best for S Walker. But Duffer's also moving in around the back of him, so he might not even get that luxury. He's living on borrowed time, and time's up. It's a clear-cut round, exquisite nade, and a solid cleanup afterwards.
It's literally just a round one off of Socklin's grenade. When we were getting that many kills with one grenade, I mean, if you're Ocelots, the round hasn't even started yet, basically, and you're already down to a 2v5. I mean, what can you really do? It's just kind of overwhelming at that point. So early lead in the second half taken basically by Socklin. I mean, really. But we'll see how Ocelots would like to respond. So we do see them once again heading towards middle, so we could see a little bit of a repeat. It just depends on the timing of these grenades. As Ocelots do get past it, though, and get into Broken Building. Elzoy leading the charge. They get there quick, but Duffer did push bottom cinema. He got there in time. What can he do?
Oh, finally gets his man. Ono now is able to line them up with the STG, but there's the shotgun. Jackis is well onto Duffer. So a 2-on-2 in terms of players down is going to afford them a bomb plant. I see the difference in how they decide to defend. Blackmane around the back of Cinema. And he's going to look to scurry his way into an advantageous position. See if he can maybe take down one of these now defending allied players onto the retake. And he'll do just that. His victim will be Elzoy. And in doing so, this now opens up a few more angles of aggression for the rest of the Axis. They're going to barrel through on the double doors of Arch. Up at the top of Cinema will be Etney, but there's not much he can do about this one. Final player in the broken house is Jackis. The bomb's getting defused. He has to go for the peak if he wants to stop it. And he's not able to do so. And it's going to be the round going to Article 51.
Yeah, really two big talking points about that round just to kind of illustrate how this... Yeah, set nades are great for getting killed with delays timings, and because of that, you saw Duffer being able to push into bottom cinema, a spot he normally wouldn't be able to get to faster than the attacking team, but did because of the set nade threat, allowed him to get a kill. Also, another thing to note is because there's a lot of ways to get into the cinema bomb site. I mean, you have top, bottom cinema, you have the broken building, you have short. It also works against you as the attacking team in the post plant when people are doing the retake. It's so many spots you have to cover. And it really worked out in Article 51's favor in that round. And this round's working out swimmingly as well. They've already gotten some early kills with grenades. They're pushing through A halls, and Ano's found the kill on Toppy. So it just keeps piling on Ocelots. They're in a 5-on-2.
Now, Article 51 now seemingly having no respect. They're just pushing through mid. They're smoking around the tank, and then they're just pushing straight through there in the form of Duffer, plus second mid as well. You can see from Etty's perspective, suddenly there's 2 or 3 players just up in his face. It's almost like the Allies were the defenders in that round. But 9-6 the score. Article 51, they're on a tear. And they're looking like they're going to take us to a third map.
Yeah, very well could be. Which would probably be Liberation. There's really not many other choices. Either that or Man. Popular choice, but we'll let them confirm that if we need to. As Ocelots again delayed at mid due to the set nades do come out a little bit later. Damage being exchanged, but no frags coming out just yet, as Ocelots do want to attack towards Cinema side. But Sockland's been able to be afforded to get up close here at short. Could disrupt them with an early pick, as he does just kind of slide, peek out, but he's been punished by Elzoy's scope. This may open up Cinema.
It's going to be a rough ask now to hold on to this. So Allies have a player advantage. That being said, Blackmane with his SMG says not just yet, and that's going to take a valuable angle away from mid. They also have to be very careful or cognizant of the fact that Blackmane could be now pushing around the back of them, and that could force the Allies into a hyper-aggressive play. It could put them out of their comfort zone, and Ono's going to pounce with a couple of STG frags, gets knifed to the face. That's going to leave a mark, and now suddenly it's going to be all the way of Article 51 once again. All too easy. It was looking for a second like Ocelot had that in the bag, but man, that quickly got out of hand.
That's just great team play. I mean, it really is just great work from Article 51. Just Blackmane getting that flank in middle. Now all of a sudden to be a little bit worried that they're going to get flanked more, so that slows them down. It allows Article 51 to rotate a little bit better, get set in. I'll also say Ano had a really good position. That's probably one of the best spots you can play inside that Cinema site, is like right in the corner of the fire escape. It's such a hard angle to clear, especially from top Cinema, and even from broken building and short. You're kind of more focused on the site itself, the broken wall inside the site, the back hallways, the doors. You don't really think about that corner. And Ano able to use it to great effect in that round. Now they're up 10-6, just 3 away from forcing a third map in this series. Ocelots looking to shift the focus at long A this time. They've already pushed 2 towards the tram.
Important trade going the way of Article 51 once again. And it's going to be Duffer, Blackmane through the shadows with a double spray. Neither check the angle, and they will be punished dearly. Etney, all that remains, carbine in his hands. He at least has the bomb, but I mean, surely this is not going to go his way. Blackmane goes for the spray, going to connect. And 11-6 going to be the scoreline.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of one of those crazy rounds where like Duffer and company look to push through Cinema side, maybe thinking we're going to probably just take a head-on fight at short, something like that, or at the broken building, and that's going to kind of decide how the round plays out. But fortunately for them, what they find instead is no one's there, because Ocelots are looking to take long A, and so Duffer's like, oh, great, we just get to flank them, and we know exactly where they are, and we're rotate people off the B site and just have all our defenders in the right place at the right time. And at that point, it's just kind of a tidal wave crashing into Ocelots, as they were up against just everyone. Everyone was well informed on Article 51 and how things were playing out. Now just 2 away from locking this one up, as Ocelots again looking to split over here towards Cinema, but Duffer pushes out with the MP40 and tees off 2. Great work by Duffer. Again, the aggression paying off, and he just keeps it rolling. There's a third.
And even if he died, you can see there's another 2 players that have pushed through second mid, Blackmane and Aerox. So even if Duffer died in that position, it really doesn't make any difference at all. And I wonder if he's trying to fake that out right now. If he's trying to fake out that Ono isn't at the top of Cinema, by spraying up there, it effectively tells the Allies, well, maybe he's preemptively firing up the fire escape because no one else is there. It's kind of like a next level mind game. Doesn't matter anyway because the flank had already taken effect. And something to point out as well, I was curious about, Blackmane typically going to be the sniper for this team. And I said this to you the other day, that Blackmane, Ono, and Sockland, all in previous incarnations, in COD 4 in particular, have been phenomenal snipers. Aerox, sorry, not Aerox. Blackmane typically snipes, but all we've seen so far is Sockland take it. And he's been very good with it.
I think Blackmane was doing it a lot on Coastal, but this map has been pretty much Sockland, so kind of map specific, or just how they're feeling on the day, or just what positions they're playing, if it makes sense. So it's good to have their options, I guess you could say. But look at Ano in this round. He's just straight up pushing upper Cinema by himself, taking away so much space and getting so much information. Could even flank behind these players in lower Cinema. Duffer and him will put them in a crossfire. They get run through the blender in the bottom of Cinema thanks to Ano's push. And this could be just what they need to waltz into a third map.
Yeah, it's looking pretty ominous right now. And indeed, we'll be heading to a third map. You can see almost the no respect play coming out at the end there. And I feel like when it comes down to individual talent, Article 51 are so stacked full of sick players from the likes of the COD 4 days where SMGs reign supreme. And he just saw that when it came down to the Axis aggression, an Ocelot couldn't throw these time grenades because you never know when they're going to get pushed. they really did struggle. They couldn't cope with that at all. They were just getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, it seemed like the aggression of Duffer, even Ano at times pushing like that last round cinema. It felt like acts. It's like it felt like Article 51 were never in a situation where they didn't know what to expect or they never got caught off guard. They were always working with the superior information. It's just I don't know. Like their aggression paid off in multiple ways. They either won early stop B pushes or they figured out where Ocelots were attacking A and were able to flank behind them. So I think they really did just kind of just get in Ocelot's faces a little bit too much, and Ocelots weren't really able to respond to it a whole hell of a lot. Again, I think this map is one of those examples of because mid control is so important, if you get slowed down a little bit too much, you're not able to get to cinema fast enough, defenders just take control of that space instead, and then you're basically kind of playing from behind before maybe even a frag happens in the round just because of positioning. So definitely a great effort, Article 51, and they do force the third map of Liberation.